A soul forecast is not about predicting events. It is about noticing the themes, patterns, and energy moving through a period of time so you can navigate your life with greater awareness. You can see more clearly and perhaps have less chaos, less drama, less trauma, and make wiser decisions. As I reflected on the energy of mid-June through mid-July, 5 themes emerged. Theme number 1, do it again. This is not about rinse and repeat or the saying, let's try it again one more time. This is not starting over. This energy is a bit more refined than that. The soul is calling for a return to the place of hurt. And everyone has a place of hurt. My family does not like me. I feel left out. I was rejected. I was not chosen. These and many more are the hurts that occur in human life. During this time, the soul may want to go there again. Not because it wants you to relive it or reprocess it, but because it wants an honest answer, an honest feeling, an acknowledgement. And it doesn't have to be fully healed. Do it again is simply opening the mind and heart and saying, yep, it's still there. You don't have to go back into therapy unless you want to. You don't have to analyze it, fix it, or turn it into a project. That's what I'm really good at, turning it into a project. You only need to acknowledge its existence. There's something deeply healing about telling the truth, not pretending the wound is gone because time has passed, but simply saying, yes, that still hurts. Theme number 2, listen to nature. Listening to nature can even be as simple as the birds in your backyard. During this time, there is a call to shift your attention away from the constant noise of the human world and toward the living world around you. Focus on the chirping of birds rather than the sound of passing cars. Notice the trees, the insects, the animals, the water, and the changing seasons. We need to acknowledge that we share this planet with countless other species. They are not here merely as scenery for human life. They are our companions on earth. I was also given the impression that adopting an animal, caring for a pet, or supporting a species such as, adopt a manatee, dolphin, or other creature has great value beyond what we can measure. It nurtures something within the soul. If the first theme I mentioned is about acknowledging our own wounds, this theme is about expanding our awareness beyond ourselves. In a way, money, time, energy spent caring for Earth's other companions, it felt like it earned soul points. And it also reminded me that we are part of a larger community of life. Theme 3. And they called this Dear Soul. So you can forget your human goals for a moment. Set aside the lists, the plans, the achievements, and all the things you believe you should be doing. Instead, ask your soul what it wants of you. This is your deep dive during this period. Take out a clean sheet of paper and write, Dear Soul. In decades earlier, I may have written Dear Journal in my journal as a kid, but this is very different. It is a conversation with the deepest part of yourself. Ask your soul what it wants to experience, learn, create, release, or become. Just ask. Now, the answers you may receive may not be practical. And I can guarantee they may not align with your earth plans. They may not even make sense. But certainly, it is a time to listen more closely to the soul's agenda rather than the personality's agenda. There's wisdom waiting in this type of conversation if you're willing to ask the question and then sit quietly long enough to hear the response. Theme 4. Nothing will change until it is ready. Well, I am certainly old enough to know that is a true sentence. It also feels like one of the cornerstone lessons of Earth School. We often believe that if we work harder, heal faster, think differently, or want something badly enough, we can force change to occur. Yet, life rarely operates on our timetable. There's a readiness that belongs to the soul, to other people, and perhaps even life to itself. During this time, there's an invitation to stop pushing against what is not yet ready to move. Now, this doesn't mean giving up. However, it does mean recognizing that growth, healing, relationships, opportunities, and even endings often arrive in their own season. I was also given the impression that each grade in Earth School is becoming more difficult to graduate from. The lessons are becoming more refined, more nuanced, and sometimes less obvious. And I know for sure that this is true for old souls who are not only learning their own lessons, but are also carrying and transforming patterns that have traveled through generations. Some of what you're working on, though, may not have started with you, yet you may be the one asked to bring the healing and the completion to it. Theme 5. Soul family. I'm a product of the 60s, actually, 1960. So, soul family, being born in Detroit, just hits really hard in my heart, mind, and soul. But this is about, finally, to stop hanging on so tightly to Earth family and begin seeking your soul family. I know what it feels like to recognize soul family, and it is so, so different. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean abandoning your relatives or turning your back on the people you love. Rather, it is an invitation to recognize that not every meaningful connection is based on blood, marriage, or history. Many people, many people, especially in the United States, spend years trying to gain acceptance, approval, or understanding from family members who may never be able to provide it. During this time, there is a call to widen the circle. Seek the people who understand your values, support your growth, and can see you for you. Seek the people with whom you can share honest conversations, who you respect, and you feel that sense of belonging beyond the superficial. What came through strongly for me was the phrase communion of souls. We need each other, but perhaps not in the ways we have been taught. A true communion of souls is built on resonance rather than obligation, connection rather than duty, and shared growth rather than shared DNA. So all of these 5 themes seem to point toward the same invitation from the divine. It is to deepen your relationship with life, tell the truth about what still hurts, pay attention to the living world around you, listen more closely to your soul rather than your goals. I'm going to repeat that because that was a phrase that just it was dropped in. I was like, whoa, okay, well, I'm going to have to work on that one because I do have lists of goals. So they said, listen more closely to your soul rather than your goals. Trust the timing of what is unfolding and seek the people who nourish your spirit rather than simply share your history. We often believe growth comes from doing more, pushing harder, or finding the next answer. Yet the energy of this period suggests something different. It asks us to become more aware, honest, and definitely be present in this very moment. To acknowledge what is true, to listen more carefully, and to trust that what is meant for us will arrive when it is ready. Perhaps the lesson of this time is not how to move faster, but how to move more deeply into the experience of being human and being a soul. Thank you for spending this time with me. Please like, subscribe, and share. And remember, we are wising up together.